Efanshuku, aka Meta.
And Tracy Epi Emenari, aka Classy.
From Monday to Friday, from 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. on the morning drive. 103.5 FM. Good morning. Good morning and welcome to Abona, the 103.5 FM. Today, the first day of January 2024. The time is a minute past the hour of 7. Today is Monday. It's time for newspaper headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Happy New Year. This morning, we are going to take you through the news, making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers. But before we do that, let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making the headlines. Please stay with us.
Do you know that you have the right to quality broadcasting? The National Broadcasting Commission says any person, group of persons, or organization aggrieved by the content of a broadcast or the conduct of a broadcast station may lodge a complaint to the station and all right to the Director General, National Broadcasting Commission, number 20, Ibrahim Taiwo Street, Asokoro, Abuja, or send a mail via info@nbc.gov.ng. Please ensure that the complaint includes name of the broadcast station, title of the program, date and time of broadcast, and essence of the complaint. Also, remember to include your name, address, telephone number, email, and append your signature. Note that the complaint must reach the NBC within 14 days of the queried broadcast. NBC, your right to quality broadcasting.
You're welcome back to newspaper headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. The news making the headlines on the Guardian newspaper, Leadership, Vanguard, Punch, Daily Post, Sun, This Day, The Nation, and if time permits, we're also going to take a look at Nigerian Tribune. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 080-96661035. You can as well join us on Facebook as we are live at Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Drop your comment on the comment section of the live video. You can equally stream us online via mixlr.com/gistfm. I am Martin. Let's get started with the Guardian newspaper this morning. Nigerians hopeful amid failed promises on lingering problems. Times are rough, but we must keep hope alive. Tinubu charges Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project tax ICC on Plateau killings as minister service chiefs visit. Why 2024 budget was increased by 1.27 trillion naira. Fresh Plateau attacks claim 6 lives in Magu, Boko's local government areas. Demand social amenities. Falana tells civil society groups only restructuring can address killings in Plateau. Clark says PDP urges defense of democracy as APC preaches unity. Stakeholders seek resumption of oil production in Ogoni. Economy to feel impact of solid minerals soon, Alake says. Buhari. Others brainstorm on Castella's drug menace. Tackle corruption, insecurity in 2024, bishops tell federal government. Registrar confirms immigration of 10,697 medical laboratory scientists. Ngorie pledges transparency in dealing with Oshun non-indigens. Nasarawa partners Chipas Council on dry port development for export. Sterling Bank sets world record with Africa's first solar-powered headquarters. Lagos government advocates whistle blowing on illegal structures. Abiodun assures Ogun residents of infrastructure development in 2024. No fire outbreak at National Art Theatre main edifice, says management. Oborowori assures sustainable development in 2024. 2024, Senator Kingibe promises uncommon representation for FCT residents. Alleged 37 billion naira theft. EFCC directs ex-minister Umar Farouk to appear on Wednesday. Tongeji Island pleads for government's presence. All students urge the federal government to prioritize local languages in schools. Muhammad pledges to raise performance bar in Bauchi. NMA Lords Bellows investment in Kogi health sector. Glow Lords Nigerians resilience, optimistic of better 2024. IHS honored for its commitment to sustainable future. Sanwo-Olu urges residents to be hopeful. Non-governmental organization gives a scholarship to 50 indigent students on non-governmental organization gives scholarships to 50 indigent students of Ondo. Yuletide, MWAN Lagos donates food items to visually impaired. Man laws Tinubu, Kalo for peace project in Southeast. Women group storm Kanu seek divine intervention for Governor Abbas' victory at Supreme Court. NMA to Yahaya Bello, your investment in Kogi health sector unmatched in Nigeria. Ajadi urges Nigerians to embrace active civic participation in New Year message. No fire outbreak at National Art Theatre main edifice, says management. Police arrest suspected cultists in Lagos and recover gun. Security operatives rescue 21 kidnapped victims in Kogi 48 hours after abduction. APM tax Nigerians on national renewal. What we expect in 2024. ASU, National Association of Nigerian Students, ex-minister, ex-president Buhari, stakeholders brainstorm over Castella's dangerous situation of drug abuse. Nigeria will soon witness a food sufficiency, price reduction, NACGRAB. Leadership crisis in Ole. Not political. Community leader tells Governor Oborowori. And that's the much we can take from the Guardian newspaper this morning. And from the Guardian newspaper, we'll flip over to Leadership newspaper. 2023 Reflections and Future Outlooks. Investments. NIPC grants tax exemptions to 34 firms. Proposed jail term for salary defaulters. Fertile Putai Project, NECA, proposed jail term for salary defaulters. Putai Project, NECA, no plan to raise electricity tariffs. NERC, 1,000 arrested over drug offenses in Kanu. NAFDAC slashes processing fees for local goods. Army deploys more troops on Plateau. Tinubu, governors promise Rosie Ye amid hardship. Issues government failed to resolve in 2023. Naira suffers fall, loses 96.55% value to dollar. Has Israel forfeited her rights to exist? We will continue to foster peace between North, Southeast, says Emir of Kanu. Tottenham and Bournemouth unbeaten run. Arsenal's title hopes dim with 2-1 loss to Fulham. Spurs win. Japa, 4,504 medical laboratory scientists left Nigeria in 2023. MLSCEN. Zamfara governor signs a 426 billion naira 2024 budget, prioritize development. Edo 2024, PDP must choose right candidate to avoid Rivers debacle, says Emioye. Ekiti First Lady pays medical bills for 27 indigent patients. APC chieftain 6 arrests, probe of Buhari's ministers. AIDS. 2024 budget will have kept our promise to Nigerians, says Reps deputy spokesperson. Why Port Harcourt, Dangote refineries may not crash petrol pump price. Expert. 2023 has been a year of suffering, poverty. United Nations Secretary General. Stakeholders in education call for renewed commitment, action in 2024. Nasarawa Shippers Council partner to facilitate exports with inland dry port. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency intercepts illicit drug shipments to bandits. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency arrests Qatar businessman, orders for drug smuggling, seizes cannabis, tramadol. Man arrested for distributing fake police ID cards in Lagos. New Year, Imo NHF Arsenal aim to regain Premier League lead against Fulham. BAT reaffirms commitment to Nigerian laws, says $110 million fine paid. Police clarify demolitions plan for Police Wives Association shopping complex in Lagos. South Korea announces vacation visa for foreign nationals. Akwa Ibom CP warns parents as NYSC members defies a 3-year-old pupil. 8 crucial lessons people often learn too late in life. University of Uyo lifts 153 professors, promotes over 700 others in 2023. Akeredoru's death, shocking, unexpected, says Tinubu's wife. Farmers seek protection as herders destroy over 30 farmlands in Ekiti. Detained Imo commissioner regains freedom after over 40 years. Detained Imo commissioner regains freedom after over 40 days. Abandoned Badagry Sokoto Expressway will be revived, says Ali. Edo Labour Party urges party to dismiss Arab's report on Apata. Plateau killings, deadly blow on Nigerian security architecture. CACOL. Local oil producers must supply 483,000 barrels per day to local refineries by June. NUPRC. Ajadi commends a federal government over outlook of Lagos Airport. OPEX production to drop by 27 barrels per day in 2024. Enhancing Nigeria's revenues through taxation. Sterling Bank appoints Mayaki new chairman as Igodalo resigns. Directors Amon Ijewere says demise big blow to institute. Transcorp Group lists achievements in 2023. $60 million hanging as $9 Nigerian startups shut down in 2023. Dangote, Rabiu, Adenuga lose $9.3 billion in 2023. Forbes. That's the much we can take from the leadership newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning from the leadership newspaper, we'll flip over to Vanguard newspaper. How female aid cost Akeredolu Ayedatiwa's field. Odebowale, former SSA, unpaid benefits. Pensioners grieve over deaths of colleagues in Anambra. Nigeria will get hotter before cooling. Pastor Adeboye. We won't forget your contributions to FCT development, Wike tells retirees. NLC, NECA, Labour Party, others fire National Assembly for raising 2024 budget by 1.2 trillion naira. NASU demands 70 years retirement age for members. Epileptic power supply. Frozen food sellers now fry roast chicken, turkey to cut losses. Juliana and Vincent Igwe. Police arrest man for allegedly printing, distributing fake police ID cards. CBN, working towards a healthy economy. Akeredolu didn't manage his wife well, ex-aide. Ogunguba Tozo, Supreme Court judgment will favor us, PDP. Factional Rivers Speaker Edison Ehi resigns. I didn't pay Akeredolu's wife to become commissioner. Razak Obe. What led to feud between late Akeredolu Ayedatiwa ex-aide? Still on the stories making the headlines on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Happy New Year. Meet first and last country to enter 2024. Man who ran from Lagos to Abuja. I was attacked by racialists in Ogun. Saw ghosts before Lokoja. Nollywood legend Zach Oji ill. Nnamdi Kanu, new moves to free IPOB leader. Senate approves Tinubu's request to ways and means debt. The economy next year, 2023, is a bad year. 2024 may be worse if top economists speak. Refinery rehab. Don't expect immediate petrol price crash. Why National Assembly increase 2024 appropriation by 1.2 trillion naira, Bishi? That's the much we can take from the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And from the Vanguard newspaper, we'll flip over to the Punch newspaper. 2 Lagos drivers knock down policemen, attempt to snatch rifle. Port Harcourt refinery begins test run. Rivers, 11 others get supply soon. Nigeria's welcome 2024 with celebrations. United Nations seeks end to wars. Global crisis 2024. Celebrations as world welcomes 2024. Traders count losses as police demolish computer village power complex. New Year, tackle economic hardship. Nigerians tell federal government. 21 travelers rescued in Kogi 48 hours after abduction. Cows, goats burnt as fire guts National Arts Theatre. Things will be worse before getting better. Adeboye. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Punch newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Punch newspaper this morning. I didn't pay Akeredolu's wife for appointment. Ondo Commissioner. UN seeks end to wars. Global crisis 2024. XSSG seeks compensation for demolished building owners. Plateau, Pope seeks divine help as military combs remote communities. Kano suffering internal bleeding from DSS torture, IPOB alleges. Terrorists who attacked Yobe governor's convoy killed, defense headquarters. Don't ruin your future with hard drugs, Buhari tells youth. Federal government unfaithful with promises in 2023, says NLC. 10,697 medical laboratory scientists left Nigeria. Registrar. Abiodun appoints 2 new permanent secretaries. Abiodun appoints 2 new permanent secretaries. Unilever drives road safety awareness. Cops killing. APGA tackles critics demanding Soludo's resignation. Luxury office market will be flooded by 2026 report. Rivers crisis. Pro-Fubara speaker resigns, writes INEC. Access Holdings, Dangote Cement top ESG ranking report. Don't succumb to intimidation. Cardinal Opaleke tells Christians. Pilgrims 747 million naira. Kaduna raises committee to manage donation to airstrike victims. Kaduna raises committee to manage donations to airstrike victims. We passed 2024 budget to reduce sufferings. Ababio. Ogun. Police promises to tackle cultism. Orders. Plateau killings. Army chief deploys more soldiers. Dismisses reports of fresh attacks. Stop meddling in state's internal affairs. Obi tells federal government. Zamfara governor signs a 2024 budget. Lagos denies involvement in police officers' wives association shopping complex demolition. Our party will get victory at Supreme Court. Ogun PDP. Japa. Over 10,000 medical laboratory scientists left Nigeria. We've taken this. And that's the much we can take from the Punch newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning from the Punch newspaper, we'll flip over to the Daily Post newspaper. Pastor Adeboye delivers 2024 prophecies. Federal government announces plans to conduct a fresh oil licensing in 2024. Governor Bago condoles with President Tinubu over death of Akeredolu. Zamfara governor signs 2024 budget of 426 billion naira. Drug abuse, Castina in a very dangerous situation, Usman Bugaje. 2024 will be more fulfilling. Governor Abdul Razak assures parents. Senate leader Bamidele urges Nigerians to be optimistic in New Year message. Rivers crisis. Speaker loyal to Governor Fubara resigns, quits as lawmaker. Defense minister, service chiefs visit Plateau over killings. Governor Rada assures Castina residents of overcoming insecurity in New Year message. Our past governors attracted $115 million African Development Bank funds to Abia. PDP. That's the much we can take from the Daily Post newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines this morning from the Daily Post newspaper, we'll flip over to the Sun newspaper. 2024, President promises Nigerians equal opportunity. Politicians that war. PDP charges Nigerians to defend democracy. Lagos dissociates self from police officers' wives association plaza demolition. Economy. Personalities to watch in 2024. APC chieftain Gololo calls for arrest of indicted Buhari's minister. Labour Party APC, Bika, over attack on factional Labour Party members in Edo. FIRS, DMBs to begin deductions of outstanding EMTL on FCY inflows by January 31st. Nexim Bank MD, others seek joint efforts to improve Nigerian cocoa exports. AG Mortgage Bank raises 1 billion naira in Tier 2 capital issuance. Speaker visits Tinubu, says Nigeria will witness notable shift in budget implementation. Lagos dissociates self from, we've taken this. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Sun newspaper this morning. Bringing 15 million out of school children into the classroom. 2024, let there be good governance. The killing of Nigerians abroad. The killing of Nigerians abroad. Uboche marks 6 collaboration, unity amongst basketball stakeholders in 2024. Igalo ends 2023 behind Oshime as Nigeria's top scorer. Abuja abandoned community. Graft. Judges must be insulated. They Aba stood still for Ben Mwabeze. Those to watch in judiciary 2024. Economy, personalities to watch in 2024. Verify candidates' claims before awarding scholarships. Oloyede, JAMB registrar. Lawyer gives FGC Ijaniki 14 days to rescind the suspension of 15-year-old pupil. And that's the much we can take from the Sun newspaper this morning. From the Sun newspaper, we'll flip over to the Nation newspaper. Supreme Court ruling, okay, by Kano, says lawyer, factional speaker, he quits Rivers House of Assembly. Better days coming, says Senate President Akpabio. How 28.78 trillion naira budget can impact economy by experts. Terrorists deposit arms ahead of attacks on Plateau communities, says Senator. Terrorists deposited arms ahead of attacks on Plateau communities, says Senator. You are listening to newspaper headlines on Ebona 103.5 FM. We will now go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making the headlines on the Nation newspaper. Please stay with us.
Go and register
world. Get involved. The new APC is here in Anambra. This is sponsored by Sapol Chukuma, Onwa Umeru, Onye Chinazo, and Ocha.
Idemili Unity Cup. Yes, so let's direct. Love Bite Foods and Beverages Limited in Nobi is organizing Idemili Unity Cup between the 17 towns in Idemili North and South local government area, Anambra State. The towns are invited to register with the organizing committee of the tournament. Registration is free. Pick your forms from the Love Bite Foods reception at Nobi. Fill the forms and return to the same place before 20th December 2023. All participating towns will get a mobilization fund of 200,000 naira each for preparations. First prize 2 million naira, second prize 1 million naira, third prize 500,000 naira. Venue Central School Field, Umuru Nobi. Match days 24th to 31st December 2023. Then 1st January 2024. Other things will be announced later. For enquiries, call 0703 388 5866. Announcer Mr. Christian Abadjo, Head of Marketing and Brand Development, Love Bite Foods Limited, Nobi.
Man is a political animal. That's why we all have our views on politics. Political View comes to you at Ebonade 103.5 FM with Martin Ifeanyi is here every Monday, 3 o'clock p.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. It's all about the day-to-day activities in the Nigerian political space. Views of political actors from various political parties on political process. Views of labor leaders. And most importantly, your views. Views of the common Nigerian. Tune in to Ebonade 103.5 FM or you join online via mixlr.com/gistfm every Monday and Saturday. What are your political views? Keep a date.
Nwanne m bịakana ka m jụọ gị, kedu ebe m ga-enweta ezigbo MC?
Ikamajuaju kpọọ Shaka Shaka, the latest MC in town, ka occasion gị anwa bụrụ ịba. Ị na-achọ ezigbo MC maọbụ DJ na agbamakwụkwọ go, agbamnkwụ go, child dedication go, imepe ụlọ, ọ bụzi ụmụ akwụkwọ na-eme graduation maọbụ end of the year party. Shaka Shaka bịa na mmemme ahụ. Ị mara na I love you bụ Selekunse. Kpọọ ya n'akara ekwentị ndị a
09022670547 maọbụ WhatsApp 07030366888.
Ụmụnne Shaka Shaka.
You're welcome back to Newspaper Headlines on Ebonade 103.5 FM. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 08096661035. You can as well join us on Facebook as we're live at Ebonade 103.5 FM. Drop your comment on the comment section of the live video. You can equally stream us online via mixlr.com/gistfm. We are on to the Nation newspaper. Our beloved, how 28.78 trillion naira budget can impact economy by experts. Terrorists deposited arms ahead of attacks on Plateau communities, says Senator. Moringa value chain can create 77,400 jobs. Ojelabi, Mons Akredoru, Gali, Naba. Advertising firm redesign logo. Foundation first vulnerable children at Yuletide. Zach Oji, minister, rallies hospital to save actor's life. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Nation newspaper this morning. Body decries negligence of disability community. Greater Lagos Fiesta trails of fun lovers. Governors, speakers, Atiku, others are optimistic of better Nigeria. Governors, speaker, Atiku, others optimistic of better Nigeria. Policy on the way to curb health workers' exodus, says MLSCN. Major leap coming for mining, says Alake. Olowapo, Hashem, Lawan visit Nabas family. Labour to demand living wage, implementation of signed agreements from federal government. Tinubu felicitates Kaduna Governor Sani at 53. Akeredolu spoke truth to power, says Akure MBA, Cross River Indigenes. Federal government should leverage PPP, tech, others for economic growth. That's the much we can take from the Nation newspaper this morning. From the Nation newspaper, we'll flip over to This Day newspaper. AG Mortgage completes a first tranche of 1 billion naira tier 2 capital issuance. EFCC invites former minister Farouk over 37 billion naira laundered funds. Plateau killings, use of sophisticated weapons should worry government, military. Do not sell all your harvest. Fintry appeals to farmers. Sterling Bank announces full deployment of solar energy in 17-floor headquarters. OML 11, stakeholders list conditions for resumption of oil production in Ogoniland. Joint account, 4 Kanu local governments opt out of litigation against state government. FinTech NGR moves to safeguard Nigeria's digital financial landscape. 11 companies with combined 515.15 billion naira capitalization delisted from NGX in 1 year. Cardinal Stone, Stanbic IBTC, stock brokers, 8 others trade stock worth 1.97 trillion naira in 2023. TGI forges partnership with Niger State to boost agriculture. Winners emerge in Pampe Purple Christmas campaign. 2023 National Assembly in retrospect. Obaseki tightens noose around Shaibu. Mr. President as the new year beckons. Tax ahead of Ayedatiwa. Chief of Defense Staff offers remedies to insecurity as Plateau celebrates Black Christmas, a model for peace and good governance. Obaze, a report mutilated by politics. Obaze, a report mutilated by politics. Fubara, Wike, and the 48 laws of power. And that's the much we can take from This Day newspaper this morning. From This Day newspaper, we'll flip over to Nigerian Tribune. 28.777 trillion naira budget. Work, agriculture gets highest capital budgetary allocation. New Year. China, New Zealand, Australia, others celebrate 2024 with fireworks. Yoruba Nation not threat to peace in Southwest. Igoho replies Defense Headquarters. Yoruba Nation not threat to peace in Southwest. Igoho replies Defense Headquarters. Plateau massacre, non-arrest of perpetrators bolsters more killings. Jonah Jang. Zamfara Chamber of Commerce sacks president, appoints new executives. Governor Lawal signs into law 2024 budget. Governor Lawal signs into law 2024 Zamfara budget of rescue. Welfare, security of Southern Kaduna Mine, top Kanu. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency arrests over 1,000 as 9 tons of illicit drugs seized in 2023. Old students urge para government to upgrade GSS Ilorin. Ondo Prince cancels Ayedatiwa to pick female deputy from Akure. No going back on demolition of Lagos Police Officers' Wives Association Complex. Police. That's the much we can take from the Nigerian Tribune this morning. That will also mark the conclusion of all that we have for you on this particular edition of Newspaper Headlines on Airborne Ade 103.5 FM. We'll now flip over to our WhatsApp portal to bring you reactions this morning. From our WhatsApp portal this morning, we have this message coming from Comrade Manley Uduogo from Udumuobosi, and he says, our beloved country, Nigeria, is sick. No two ways about it. About that, we have sought many palliatives without success, and with decreasing hope of success. The general population of Nigeria is crippled by lack of hope and cannot imagine change, and have therefore remained passive. Let not this passivity be mistaken for docility. For Nigeria belongs not only to our misguided elites, but rather it belongs to all its citizens that possesses the constitutional right to react, especially when they are wary of this draconian and harsh system. Our leaders should watch it, for power belongs to God, and people are the respiratory of power. Comrade Manley Oduago from Odumobosi, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have this message. It's coming from Agonabo, and he says, from Ofa, okay, he's joining us from Ofa, Aguruzibo, and he says, continued killing in Nigeria is barbaric and need to be condemned by all good Nigeria. But your message is not complete, but thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It's coming from Christian Ufondo from Onitsha, and he says, Chief of Staff seeks citizens support to fight terrorism. The Chief of Army Staff is seeking the support of those he regards as civilians. Now that things have become out of hand, he should know that among the citizens that he wants to help him were those people his counterpart killed in the name of Operation Pythoners 1, 2, and 3. And he says, can he bring those people killed in the cold blood to life so that they can help him perform his duties well? And then he continued and says, Akere Dodu's death serves as a reminder to all leaders that they will end up one day, and that they will rush to meet their ancestors, whether they like it or not. And it reminds them that nobody has an option to that, because death is a necessary end, which must come when it will. Stop pressing hard on those people that you are leading, because death is a respecter of nobody. Take note, because a person's statue cannot prevent one from death. Okay, a person's statue cannot prevent one from death. Mazi Christian Ufondo continued, and he says, not restructuring can stop killings in Nigeria, but division. If you restructure this country, when some bloodsuckers are still with non-bloodsuckers, the killings will continue within the areas where the group of bloodsuckers are leading, where we are 3 different people united together on, and he says IPOB leader must be released for peace to reign in Nigeria. After all, self-determination is not a and the kind of is to that is trying to set the whole nation to unquenchable fire. Therefore, letting Nnamdi Kanu go will be better for us all. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Mazi Christian Okondo. Now we have this message. It is coming from Valentine Edene from Mbo, and it says Nigeria high institutions fees are high, but after graduating, Nigerian leaders will be expecting the person to be earning 20,000 naira per a month. This is the sin made many doctors, nurses, and lab technicians sudden migration, which will bring all about a brain drain in no distant time. He said, Happy New Year, everyone. He continued and says, Nigerian leaders started promising 60 years now. Why Nigeria is 60 plus? My question is, early morning, in early morning is in also New Year goes to our leaders. What is their resolution? Is their resolution to keep on lying or keep on deceiving people or promising without implementation? Let them tell us their New Year resolution. Valentine Edene from Mbo, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It is coming from White Lion of Africa, and it says, Japa, more medical officers are leaving Nigeria. Resignation by factional Speaker of Rivers, a dialogue, very vital. He says, Nnamdi Kanu in detention. He should be released as fast as possible for peace to reign. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll now flip over to our WhatsApp portal, to our SMS portal to bring you more reactions. From our SMS portal this morning, we have this message that is coming from Libinus Okoye from Achala, Enugu Agede, and he says, compliments of the season to Ebonade, and okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And he says, God bless Nigeria. Okay, thank you. Still on our SMS portal this morning, we have this message coming from Honorable Onyedika Osakwe, and he says, it is only cowards that die so many days before his real death. It baffles me as the nation will start the new year borrowing. It is optimistic that if a loan will be taken, there must be an impressive issue the loan will cater for, and a means in which the fund will be repaid will be devised. But in Nigeria, reverse is the case. A loan will be obtained and shared in the name of execution of projects, and you cannot see any tangible issue done. An old woman whose belongings had been counted twice by the sand of an undated hill had to prepare very well for the third journey. I rest my case. He continued again and says, the Fulani, so-called, okay, the headers that is busy killing Fulani, so-called, okay, the headers that is busy killing people in Plateau has the ambition taking over those communities. As the government is silent and acting on hide and seek syndrome, and there is any tribe in Plateau and Benue, if not an organized crime, the nation needs total overhaul as all the facets is in jeopardy. I wonder what will be the order of the day in the next 2 years if this ugly trend of financial rascality and gross insecurity is not tackled, as the Senate is promising better days ahead. Is there any good, tangible impact they are creating to enable such, if not stories? Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Honorable Onyedika Osakwe. And still on our SMS portal this morning, we have a message. It's coming from Prophet Isaiah Ibom, aka Super Lion of God from Odumubosi, and he says, Akeredolu's death is shocking, but it is a lesson to those leaders who see themselves as God and high-profile ones, that before God Almighty, no life is superior than others. Japa, I can't run away from my country because of criminals on streets and in politics. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Still on our SMS portal this morning, we have a message. This one is coming from Mayor Onyenji Koka, and it says, "In the kind of suffering internal bleeding from the torture from DSS. Well, we can't say anything. Let them continue playing with that man's life. Don't be intimidated by Cardinal Obaleke. We have been intimidated already. When we have Muslim, okay, tickets, and the Christians are more in numbers in." Okay, thank you so much for joining us in Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, my brother. And then we have this message. It says, "Happy New Year to Ebonade, a station that have the people in mind." Okay, Iweka Epani. Or he continued and says, okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Iweka Epani. From our SMS portal, we flip over to Facebook portal, where we have this message coming from also Francis Nnamani from Amagunze in Enugu State. And he says, the governor of Plateau State should urgently do something to bring a lasting solutions to the killings in the state. May God help us. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Also Francis Nnamani. On our WhatsApp portal this morning, we have this message coming from John Ume from Okozu, and he says, if the terrorists that killed hundreds of Plateau indigents last week will be allowed to carry out another attack again, then the world will hold this government responsible. The terrorists are still threatening fire and brimstone, yet the government is not doing anything about it, and none of them has been arrested. Instead, they are playing politics with the lives of the people. Please, my take on this issue is that since the government have no power longer to protect the people, why not allow them to protect themselves? John Ume from Okuzu, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have this message. It is coming from Amechanene from Ogidi, and it says, okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. That's the much we can take from our WhatsApp portal this morning. And with that, this is the spot where we'll call it a day on this particular edition of Newspaper Headlines on Ebona Ade 103.5 FM. But before we call it off, we'd like to say a very big thank you to everyone who is our client and everyone listening to Ebona Ade 103.5 FM. We want to say a very big thank you to Rick's Estate, Vegas Estate, Chaloko, Love Bite, Igbo Love Themselves, Heart of Love, Oracle, Peter Igwe, Green Energy Estate, Chime Hall, New Flame, Saloko, Nkonya Metal, Gozak, Tabernacle of Praise Adoration, Nadistel, Life Plus International, Divine Health, Residency, John Oka, Ngoka, Rema, Safety then Ogene, and many more. But we'll continue the celebration on Birthday Splash when it comes your way, 8:20 this morning. So keep a date with Ebona at the 103.5 FM. Don't touch this dial as we have lots more coming your way. Till we meet again, I am Martin. Have a fabulous new year.
How best can we talk about the challenges we are having on our streets? our community, our society in general. Street report. If we do not address these challenges on Ebonadi FM, who will? As the happenings around us get as complicated as they can be. Street Report is here to make sense of it all. Street Report is causing social change across your streets. In your community. Street Report is here with hardcore journalism to get to the roots of our problem. Why don't you join me, Martin Ifanishku, SR number the force, every Friday, 4:30 p.m. on Ebonadi 103.5 FM as Street Reports on Fools in Your Face. On Ebonadi 103.5 FM as Street Reports on Fools in Your Face. On Emas Nebonadi Corner 24/7. Nebonadi Corner 24/7. 24/7.
Man is a political animal. That's why we all have our views on politics. Political View comes to you at Ebonadi 103.5 FM with Martin Ifanishku every Monday, 3 o'clock p.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. It's all about the day-to-day activities in the Nigerian political space. Views of political actors from various political parties on political process. Views of labor leaders, and most importantly, your views. Views of the common Nigerian. Tune in to Ebonadi 103.5 FM or you join online via mixlr.com/.
Onye doziri ezinụlọ edozigo obodo.